Hi, welcome to the Bear Cave, and today we're going to be checking out some temperature probes on my drum. This one here is a 12-inch turkey fryer probe. It is manual and it is calibratable with a little nut on the back. And then we have the Chef's Temp S1, and it has a 3.5-inch probe on the inside. This one, the Chef's Temp, is an inch above my cook rack, and this one's an inch below the cook rack. The whole purpose of this experiment is to see how accurate that Chef's Temp is in a drum running a heat deflector and not a heat deflector. What kind of temperature swings differences are we going to see between a deflector and no deflector? Basically what I'm saying is a heat deflector. So here's my charcoal basket, right? And then here's the cook rack up here. Okay? So no heat deflector, just a basket, cook rack. Here's your coals, right? Let's draw some fire. There's your fire. Now your heat comes straight up like this, right? So the center of your cook rack is whatever temperature, right? Now this outside here, this temperature is going to be less because your heat's coming up, hitting the meat, and then going straight out to your exhaust. Okay? So with the heat deflector, what that does is, if this is your same basket with your same cook rack, well, now we're going to run a plate like a pizza pan over top of that. So what happens is you got your fire right here, right? And now your heat's coming up and going out and around. Going up and around, right? And then now it's swirling because it's moving before it goes out. Okay? So what we're going to see in this experiment is the temperature difference between here and here. So for this experiment, I'm going to fire up the drum, and we'll run it without the heat deflector to show the temperature difference, and then we'll put the deflector in and see what happens. Now let me put the basket in. So I have to remove this all the way out. So now we'll put the basket on. I got my ash catcher in there. Let me move the camera back just a hair. Now you see, I'm able to get the basket in between the rack bolts and the probe just fine. No issues. Okay, so this is the setup that I'm running. I have a 12-inch turkey fryer probe, which goes in, pick these up at Academy Sports. Fairly inexpensive. They are adjustable, so you could dial it, you could calibrate that all you want. And these, I've been using these for about 12 years, and I love them. They're so simple, they're accurate. This is the fitting that I have on the inside of my drum. So this unscrews. I have some foil in there to help seal up when the probe goes in. This is screwed in from the inside of the drum. This comes to the out. And this nut screws on like that, and that's what holds it on the drum. Of course, I would torque it way down, but I'm not going to now. And then this Slides in like that. So currently we're 6 minutes in. 300 at the center, 200 on the outside. Now what I want to show you is this here, straight up above, that's showing 200. Now that is a short probe, like that, basically right above the others. So this one is reading the same temperature as this one, which makes sense because the heat's coming up and rolling out. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to add the Maverick, and I'm going to put them on the cook grate. Alright, so we've been about another 15 minutes, and you see this here, 268, this one here is 350. So we're about 90 degrees difference between an 11.5 inch probe and a 3.5 inch probe, and there's the difference. So that's saying 268, and this is saying 281. This is 347, which is above this one, which is 350. So let's take a look here. This one's reading 250, so that's really close to that one and that one. And then there's our, I put the pucks in. So the puck there's reading just under 275, and that one there is reading about just under 350. So now let me put the diverter in, and we'll keep a temps check. Alright, so here we go. You see this 294, 282, that's pretty darn close. 271, which would be next to the 282, and the little over 300, 295. That one's 300 in the center, and that one's just under 300 right there. If you run a heat deflector in your drum, your temperatures are going to be closer throughout the whole cook rack than it is without. Hopefully y'all found this somewhat, informational, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Rock on! So what's that prove?